It started with that damn garage door. The one he'd always kept locked, claiming it was just his man cave full of tools and junk I'd never want to mess with. We'd been married for 15 years of lazy Sunday mornings with black coffee, anniversary trips to the Adirondacks, and what I thought was unbreakable trust. But when David died, heart attack out of nowhere, dropping him like a stone in the middle of his architecture firm meeting, I couldn't shake the weight of that untouched space. It sat there in our cozy Seattle suburb home, mocking me every time I passed it on the way to the kitchen. For weeks, I avoided it, telling myself it was grief, that stirring up his stuff would only make the emptiness worse. But grief has a way of turning into something sharper, something that whispers questions in the dead of night. What was he hiding? Why the lock? Why me? Always on the outside? That rainy Tuesday morning, I couldn't take it anymore. My hands shook as I fished out the key from his old leather wallet, the one I'd stuffed in a drawer after the funeral. The lock clicked open with a betraying ease, and as the door rolled up, the air hit me like a slap, musty, laced with the faint scent of his cologne. No tools, no clutter. Instead, shelves lined with photo albums, neatly labeled boxes, a worn leather jacket hanging on a hook like he'd just stepped out. In the center, a mahogany desk stacked with files, precise as his blueprints. I stepped in, heart pounding, the concrete cold under my socks. The first album I grabbed felt heavy, like it carried the weight of lies. Flipping it open, there he was, David, arm around a woman I didn't know, blonde hair tied back, soft smile, and in front of them, a boy, maybe 10, with David's exact jawline, his mischievous grin. The album slipped from my fingers, thudding to the floor. My mind raced for excuses, old friends, distant relatives. But the next photo shattered that. David in a hospital room, cradling a newborn, pride beaming from his face. Scrawled on the back, Ethan. Day 1. My legs gave out. I sank to the ground, the cold seeping through my jeans. Albums upon albums, chronicling a life I wasn't part of, birthday parties with cakes shaped like skyscrapers, Halloween costumes, school soccer games. David in every frame. The doting dad. 15 years. And he'd had a son. A whole other world, tucked away 20 feet from our bedroom. The betrayal burned slow, hollowing me out, leaving confusion in its wake. Who is this woman? How long? And why? Why keep it from me? The woman who'd stood by him through job losses, his mother's cancer. Everything? I rifled through a box on the desk, envelopes stuffed with receipts, hotel stays in Portland, rent payments for an apartment in Tacoma, wire transfers to Sophia Reed, the name repeated like a mantra. Then, a handmade card, crayon scribbles of a house and a stick figure family. Happy birthday, Dad. Love. Ethan. Postmarked 2 months ago. While I'd been planning our getaway to the San Juans, baking his favorite apple pie, he'd been there, celebrating with them. The silence of the garage pressed in, amplifying the roar in my ears. I didn't cry. Not then. Just sat amid the debris of my shattered marriage, wondering how the man who'd whispered, "I love you," every night could build this fortress of deceit. Sleep evaded me that night. Ethan's face haunting my dreams, those eyes, so like David's when he was lost in thought. By dawn, I was back in the garage, combing for clues. A recent envelope caught my eye, return address in Olympia, just a 2-hour drive south. Ethan's childish scrawl on the card inside. Something snapped. I grabbed my keys, threw on a coat, and hit the road. No calls to my sister Victoria or best friend Laura. Explanations could wait. The town was picture-perfect Americana, picket fences, kids on bikes. The kind of place where secrets shouldn't thrive. My GPS led to a modest ranch-style house, blue shutters framing the windows. I parked across the street. Engine off. Heart hammering. Then I saw him, Ethan, bursting out the front door, chasing a stray ball. Laughter echoing. No doubt now, he was David's mirror image. Behind him, the woman Sophia scooped up the ball, tossing it back with a gentle laugh. They looked normal, happy, a family. I gripped the steering wheel, knuckles white. Questions flooded before me. During? Did he love her more? Rage bubbled, urging me to confront them. But fear held me back. I circled the block, parked in the shadows, watched until dusk. Sophia checked the mail, glancing at a photo on her fridge through the lit window. David and Ethan, arms linked. It gutted me. Driving home, the highway blurred through unshed tears. I couldn't tell anyone. Victoria would turn it into drama. Laura would pity me. Back in the dark house, I clutched the card again. Best dad ever. Innocence stared back, but it fueled a quiet fury. This boy wasn't the enemy, but the lies were. I vowed to uncover it all, not for revenge yet, but for the truth I deserved. The funeral was a haze of black suits and sympathy casseroles. I stood by David's casket, nodding at condolences. He was a pillar. You two were soulmates. Each word twisted the knife. If only they knew. But then, in the back of the crowded chapel, I spotted her, Sophia, in a simple gray dress, eyes swollen but dry. Beside her, Ethan, fidgeting with his tie, holding her hand like an anchor. Our eyes met, hers filled with a mix of sorrow and shame. She didn't approach, just lingered like a ghost, slipping out before the eulogy ended. Laura noticed my stare. Who are they? I whispered the truth. David's other family. Her grip tightened on my arm. We talk later. At the wake in our living room, neighbors milled with plates of lasagna. Laura pulled me aside in the pantry. Spill. I confessed the garage, the photos, the drive. Her face hardened. That bastard. A knock interrupted. James Harlan, David's lawyer and golf buddy, briefcase in hand. Emma, we need to chat privately. In the study. He cleared his throat. David updated his will recently. Added a trust for a minor, Ethan Reed, and ongoing payments to Sophia Reed. The room spun. You knew. He shook his head. Not until now. But there's more. Federal eyes on his finances. Possible fraud in his developments. Betrayal layered on betrayal. David wasn't just unfaithful, he was crooked. And I'd been his oblivious cover. 3 days post-funeral, Victoria showed up unannounced. Her designer purse slung over her shoulder, eyes rimmed red. My flashy little sister, always the center of attention. We need to talk, she demanded. Pushing past. In the living room, she paced. I'm pregnant. Shock hit first. Congrats. But her tears flowed. It's David's. The world tilted. What? She collapsed on the couch. One night, last fall, we were drunk at that family barbecue. A stupid mistake. Rage ignited. Slow and searing. My own sister, the bridesmaid at our wedding, betraying me in our backyard? Get out, I hissed. She pleaded, but I shoved her toward the door. Alone. Humiliation crashed in. Was this love? Jealousy? Or just another lie in David's web? Laura came that night. I vented everything. She frowned. She's lying. Victoria's always envied you, your marriage, your stability. Demand proof. Doubt crept in. Victoria's timing reeked. Back in the garage, I cracked a locked drawer, key hidden under the desk. Inside, bank statements, offshore accounts in the Caymans, deeds for properties in Miami, even abroad. Names like Mr. Tanaka, Herkline. David had been laundering, evading taxes, building an empire on deceit, and a USB drive labeled private. My pulse raced. Plugging it in. Encrypted files mocked me. This wasn't just personal, it was criminal. How deep did the rot go? Ethan appeared on my doorstep 2 days later. Backpack heavy. Eyes wide with terror. Mom's gone. He stammered she'd dropped him at school. Never returned. I pulled him inside. Heart aching for this kid caught in the crossfire. Hot cocoa in hand. Blanket around him. I called Olympia PD. No missing report yet. But they'd check. Ethan asked, "Did you know my dad?" I nodded. Throat tight. He called every Wednesday. Talked about his designs. The innocence pierced me. While I'd wondered about his late nights, he'd been fathering from afar. Laura arrived, ready to storm Sophia's town. But I held off. Called James. "Ethan's here. Sophia's missing." Silence. "I'm coming over." James arrived pale. David was under investigation, FBI for fraud. Money laundering. They watched his transfers. My blood chilled. Sophia involved? He shrugged. If she's gone. Maybe someone tying loose ends. Fear gripped me. David hadn't just broken hearts, he'd invited danger. With Ethan asleep on the couch. I eyed the USB. Time to wake the beast. Alone in the study. I bypassed the weak encryption, trial and error on his birth date. A video file, David. In that same chair. Looking haggard. "Emma, if you're seeing this, I'm dead." His voice cracked the silence. I lied about everything, Sophia. Ethan. The money. I got in deep with shady investors. Couldn't get out. Protected them as best I could. Pause. But Victoria. She's dangerous. She knew about Sophia years ago. Blackmailed me. Threatened her. I think she made Sophia run. My world shattered anew. Be careful. Protect Ethan. I loved you flawed. But real. Screen black. Trembling. I replayed it. Victoria, my blood capable of this? Memories flashed, her probing questions. Lingering hugs with David. Jealousy festered into something toxic. Police updates, nada. No evidence on Victoria. Ethan stayed. His quiet trust pulling at me. Sleepless nights replayed betrayals. I couldn't let her win. A week later, I called Victoria to a neutral diner in Bellevue. She sauntered in. Composed. Sophia's missing, I stated. Her blink betrayed her. You threatened her. Marcus's video proves it. Her facade cracked. I protected you from her ruining everything. And the pregnancy? Lie. She sneered. You never deserved him. The venom confirmed it. I walked out. Cutting ties forever. No cops yet. But the seed of vengeance grew, exposure. Not violence. Sophia surfaced days later, hiding in Idaho. Terrified of FBI fallout and Victoria's threats. James arranged the reunion. Ethan clung to her. Sobbing. She thanked me. Then asked, stay in his life? Despite the pain. I agreed. For the boy. Not them. Weeks on. I sold the house. Garage secrets intact for the feds. Moved to Boulder, mountains. Solitude. David's hidden trust funded it. Laura helped pack. Find peace. I have. Mostly. Ethan sends drawings. Sophia updates sparingly. Victoria? Radio silent. Her empire of lies crumbling in isolation. Revenge wasn't loud, it was walking away. Letting truth erode her. But the scars? They whisper still. A price paid in silence.